Finally wearing off.
All right, good morning. The court is going to take up cause number C210064CPS. This is in the entrance of Lawrence Benjamin Medina, a child. The case is set for an adversary hearing on an original petition for protection of a child filed by the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. The hearing today is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. Participating in the hearing today on behalf of the department is Investigator Shady Heath and Regional Attorney Samantha Jordan. The mother of the child listed in the department's pleadings is Gloria Sandoval, and I do not currently see her on my screen. I'll verify in a moment whether or not she is participating. The father of the child is Lawrence Medina, and I also do not see him on my screen at this point, and I'll verify shortly whether he is participating in the hearing today. The court has appointed Madeline Smith as attorney ad litem for and Ms. Smith is participating in the hearing today. The CASA guardian ad litem representatives for the child are Jacob Smith and James Valancano, both of whom are participating in the hearing today. I would also note that on my screen, as being reflected in the conference, is Donna Solis. Ms. Solis, could you advise the court your connection with the case, please? You could unmute your device. Ms. Solis, are you able to hear me? If so, could you advise the court your connection with the case, please?
Tell them your name. Gloria Sandoval.
Oh, okay. You're the mother of the child, Gloria Sandoval. Okay, thank you. And then I also show on my screen on the designation of Mia Acosta, someone participating in the conference. If you're on that device, could you identify yourself for the court, please? And I'm not showing that person has connection at this point. Let's see, now they're on. If you're under the on this conference under the name Amelia Acosta, could you identify yourself for the court, please? Ms. Heath, do you have any idea who that might be?
Yes, I believe that is Lawrence Medina, the father. Amalia Acosta is his mother.
Oh, okay. If you have a way to communicate with him, I'm going to try to send him in chat, but right now it's showing on my screen his video is not enabled and there's no audio connection at this point. I'm going to try to ask him to hit join audio, but if you have any way to communicate with him, you might try to let him know that as well.
I will.
All right. See, Mr. Medina, are you able to hear us? I'm still showing on my screen that he does not have audio connection at this point. Sorry if y'all stand by for a couple of minutes. We'll see if we can get this corrected. All right, Mr. Medina, are you able to hear us now? Ms. Heath, if he's not able to join us, do you have a phone number where you might be able to call him and put him on a speakerphone so we can communicate with him?
Yes, I do. I tried to call, but he's not answering, but let me reach out to his mom.
Okay, thank you. For the record, the Zoom shows that his audio is not disabled, enabled at this point. He was briefly on the screen, but so far I've not been able to reflect that he has any audio connection.
Judge, they're attempting to unmute one more time, and then if she can't, she's going to call and we're going to put him on speakerphone.
And there is also, if he prefers, there, on the Zoom link, there's a phone number with a Houston number on it that they can call in, and they can directly call in and not have to be on the speaker. So they can do it either way, but I'd like them to participate one way or the other if they can. Mr. Ike, if you could reflect in the record that the device listed as Amelia Acosta has dropped off at this point. I'm assuming they're going to try to call in. So, thank you. Again, if y'all just stand by. All right. Mr. Lawrence Medina, are you able to hear us?
Yes, sure am.
Okay,
Good morning.
good. Good, thank you. All right. As I noted, we're here on cause number C210064CPS. This is a adversary hearing that's set pursuant to an original petition for protection of a child filed by Child Protective Services. All parties in council previously noted as present are now present, and the mother, Gloria Sandoval, and Lawrence Medina are also participating in the conference. All right, Ms. Jordan, could you advise the court and the parties in council what orders the department is seeking today?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The department is asking to continue as the temporary managing conservator of the child. We're asking for the parents to be named temporary possessory conservators and have visitation supervised by the department. We're asking for the parents to work services provided by the department. And we're asking for the child to remain in his current placement. He's in foster care right now, and the department would continue looking for family that would be appropriate.
All right. And Ms. Jordan, I received through my court administrator some indication that there might be a language barrier or an interpreter needed for one of the parents. Is that
That
your
is what,
understanding?
yes, Judge. That's my understanding that mom may need an interpreter.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, I'll start off and just try to see where we go from here. Ms. Sandoval and Mr. Medina, the purpose of today's hearing is for the court to consider whether or not to grant temporary orders that are being requested by the department. Those orders would include an order that would continue the Department Child Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of the child for the time being, meaning that the department would have the duty and responsibility to make sure the child is in a safe environment and cared for appropriately while the case continues for whatever duration it may have. The orders would include an order that would appoint each of you as temporary possessory conservators, and meaning each of you would have court order visitation rights with your child while the case progressed. The orders would also include orders that would require the department to provide services to each of you to try to address whatever the concerns were that prompted the department to file the suit, with a goal of trying to return the child to a parent. The orders would order each of you to also participate in those services. If the court were to grant those orders, then I'm required to set additional hearings to check on the status of the case, to see if how the department is doing on providing services to you, how you're doing on working those services, and on whether the issues that have prompted the case to be filed have been resolved to the point where the child could be returned to a parent's care. The department also has an obligation if a child is removed and placed in the department's care to try to identify potential relative placements for the child pending a possible return to the parents. So if the court were to grant those orders, you would be asked to provide names of persons who might be a temporary placement for the child if the child is not in your care. By designating somebody as a potential placement, you're not indicating you want the child back. You're just saying if the child is not going to be in my care, and here's some people I would like you to look at as potential placement. In determining how to proceed with the hearing, I need to determine from each of you what your position is as to the orders being requested by the department in this case. And I'm going to start with you, Ms. Sandoval, since I understand there may be a language issue. Ms. Sandoval, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, but I'm understand nothing. I need somebody translator. Or
Okay, so let me just try to make sure we can understand each other to this extent. You are not able to fully understand the English language, and you would need somebody to help interpret in your language, which is, I gather, Spanish. Is that right? You need a Spanish interpreter?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You also have a right to an attorney in this type of case. If you wish to retain one or cannot afford one, do you desire to have an attorney appointed to represent you in this case as we proceed?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. And you don't have the money to pay for an attorney on your own, right? You don't have enough cash to pay for a lawyer? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I'll come back to your situation in a second. Mr. Medina, do you know what your position is on the orders requested by the department? Are you in agreement with those orders, or are you opposed to those orders at this time?
Opposed.
Okay.
I want a lawyer as well.
Okay. Well, whether you get a lawyer will depend in part on your ability to pay for one. I need I'm going to need you to raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or
Okay.
affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you state your name for the record, please?
Lawrence Harold Medina.
Okay. And you are the father of the child, Lawrence Medina, that's the subject of this suit, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have other children besides that child?
No, sir. My only one.
Okay. And are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you employed?
I'm a manager at Wendy's on Sherwood.
Okay. And is that a full-time or part-time?
Full time.
Okay. And are you paid by the hour or are you paid a salary?
Paid by the hour.
Okay. And how much do you make per hour?
13 an hour.
And do you typically work 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir.
Now, other than that job, do you have any other employment?
No, sir. I do not.
Are you, do you have any assets of any significant value that you could use to hire a lawyer?
No, sir. I do not.
Just a second. What is your net take-home page week? Are you paid weekly or monthly?
I'm
Or
paid
bi-
bi-weekly,
Okay.
and it's about 900 to 1,000 bi-weekly.
That's bi-weekly. Okay. Are you married?
No, sir. I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, sir, you exceed the guidelines set by the statutes for a court-appointed attorney. That doesn't mean you can't retain a lawyer. So you will have the right to hire a lawyer if you wish to do so, but I'm not authorized to appoint a lawyer for you. So what's going to happen is this case is going to be reset because I'm going to need to appoint a Spanish-speaking interpreter for Ms. Medina. Ms. Sandoval to represent her in the case, and perhaps have an interpreter as well be present at the hearing. Someone need to reset the hearing. So if you desire to try to retain an attorney, you can, you'll have time to do that. But
Okay.
I'm not authorized to appoint one for you, but you certainly have the right to hire one if you wish to do so. If you fail to do so when the hearing is reset, then you'll have the right to represent yourself at that point, but you'll also be subject to the normal rules for representation in court. So just want you to understand that when we proceed. All right, Ms. Sandoval, I'm going to appoint Marcela Mendoza. She speaks Spanish, and I'm going to appoint her to represent you. I'm also going to see if we can arrange for an interpreter to be present at the time when the case is reset to help facilitate your understanding of the proceedings. In the case, I'm going to reset the hearing for August 16th, 2021 at 10:30. And I'll extend the emergency orders pending that reset hearing. Ms. Mendoza will be notified of her appointment, and Ms. Sandoval, you'll need to try to get with her to discuss your case. Ms. Heath, I would ask that the department, Ms. Jordan, try to facilitate what I'm relaying to Ms. Sandoval today. If y'all have somebody who can interpret for her, just so she makes sure she understands what we've done today and when we're reset. Mr. Medina, as I indicated, I can't appoint an attorney for you, but you certainly have the right to have an attorney represent you prior to that August 16th date and at that hearing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. We'll be in recess, or we'll be in recess for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.